Alrighty, hey there, guys. I'm gonna take y'all through the new update for Ready or Not today. So they came out with an update on the 15th. Today is currently the 17th. I'm a little late on this, but they released a big update that added a lot of guns and just made a bunch of changes. They fixed around a lot of the levels and a lot of the AI. So we're gonna go through that today, point by point. So first things first, the bug fixes on the AI. Fake suspects unable to exit surrender while player is facing towards the suspect without direct line of sight. Next, fixed fake surrenders being rarer than intended. That's interesting that they're rarer than they were intended. Fixed civilians sometimes failing to seek out the player after bring order to chaos objective has been completed. That's always annoying for sure, having to look for the last guy and you still have to do that. Now, it is more common for them to run to you now, but it is still definitely an issue. At least last time I played it. Hopefully, whenever I get on, it won't be. Fixed various issues with suspect flee behavior. Okay, I wonder what those issues were. Fixed various issues with suspect hiding behavior. Okay. Yeah, that's you don't see many of them hide. I don't, at least, in my playthroughs, and I played through the game a bunch of times. Fix various issues with suspects suppressing fire behavior. That's cool, interesting. I'd like to be suppressed a little bit more than I usually am. Maybe the hard mode that they came out with will change that, but we'll get onto that later. Fix suspects not gaining morale after picking up a weapon from a weapon cache. Um, Okay. I didn't know that there were like weapon caches, I guess. The only thing I can think of is like the little boxes on greased palms. Fixed suspects being unable to surrender inside while standing CS gas. Okay, that's cool. That's nice. That was always frustrating having to yell 40 times over. Fixed issue with AI flashlight detection. Interesting. I like that. I hopefully I'll be detected more because I always use flashlights on levels. Fixed execute command queuing, breaking the command queue. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Fixed suspects sometimes prioritizing caches over picking up closer guns. Alrighty, on to UI. Alright. Fixed tablet not closing properly at times. Fixed bottom left attachment NBG icons not updating correctly. Fixed being unable to fully cycle through customization styles carousel on gamepad. That's what a sentence. Fixed being unable to fully cycle through mission selection carousel on gamepad. Hmm. I've never played it with controllers, so I wouldn't know. Um, Fixed overlapping UI text in gamepad settings with certain languages. Fixed overlapping UI text to or exfiltrate prompt when using gamepad. Fixed text not fitting into various UI elements in certain languages. Removed unnecessary scroll bar on armor selection. Fixed an issue with subtitle language carousel showing incorrect selected language. Fixed instances of missing localization. Fixed various font issues in several languages. Fixed incorrect preset names appearing for whole team in the loadout menu. Fixed being able to highlight multiple audio files with the tablet when using the tablet with the gamepad. Fixed various ultra-wide screen related UI issues. Fixed mission type always displaying barricaded suspects. Fixed inconsistent order of optics for certain guns. Okay, I like that. Fixed various UI issues caused by increasing the UI scale. One thing I don't notice on this fixed UI thing, and maybe they'll get it later in the patch notes, I don't see anything on maybe fixing the variable zoom optics, which, has been a frustration for everyone that knows anything about variable zoom optics in the game. Uh, for customization, they reduced the TP1E clipping through various shirts. I don't know what that is. If that, I think that might be a shirt, maybe not. I don't know. And then fixed various item descriptions, which, yeah, there were some descriptions that needed fixing. But alrighty, on to audio. Fix various level related QSM ambience issues. Okay. Fix talk not notifying player of bombs plus traps for certain level. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. So is talk supposed to notify you? I didn't know that. I didn't. Interesting. Cool. Fixed issue where ambience transitions would not play the intended ambiance. Okay. Fixed instances of certain animations missing footstep sounds. Fixed bullet snaps cutting each other off at high fire rates. Yeah. Fixed certain footstep sounds not playing on all materials. Okay. Fixed delay effect not working as intended on SWAT voices over distance. Fixed many instances of sound not occluding or attenuating correctly. Fixed SWAT mask radio effect. Fixed incorrect SWAT voiceover when securing weapon caches. Okay. Fixed an issue where SWAT may occasionally use generic lines for reportables or not use all available lines. Fixed missing water leak audio for aquariums, water dispensers. Fixed mission selection beep, sometimes not playing. Fixed VoIP not working during mission selection or loadout selection. Okay. Fixed instances of certain characters using incorrect null footstep sounds. Fixed instances of certain animations missing footsteps with Foley audio. Fixed instances of certain UI potentially not playing as intended. Fixed outdoor reflection probes potentially sounding glitchy. Fixed instances of gunfire weapon folly not to stop playing. Sorry. Fix certain subtitle files not matching the audio. Fix certain ricochet layer never playing. Fix trap sometimes not playing audio on wire cut completion. Okay. And then on to the animations. Fixed small animation issues during loadout section. Fixed animation issues when kicking doors. Fixed SWAT AI animation issue when shield barrier opened the door. Fixed various issues with chem light drop animation. Fix being able to get stuck in a grenade throwing animation. Replay viewer. Okay, so I've never used the replay viewer. I don't think. I didn't even know that was a thing. Fix skipping backwards, sometimes causing crashes. Fix loading screen audio persisting while viewing replays. Fix missing throwable VFX. Fix replays sometimes crashing while clicking along the timeline. And then fix replays showing wrong time and date. Okay. And on to the levels. So they fixed some of the levels. And apparently, so among the levels, they improved destructible consistency across all levels. LODs have been adjusted across performance levels. This is still actively being worked on. Fixed AI clipping through level geometry while hiding in various levels. Fixed various issues with training progression on the training. Okay. Station. Fix mismatched skin tones on certain characters. Fix shooting range target buttons, sometimes both being red. Okay. Twisted nerve. Fix windows, sometimes displaying dirt decals when shot. Fixed incorrect footstep audio on characters. Fixed fans no longer spinning. Fixed, and that's all for Twisted Nerve already. And then on Valley of the Dolls, fixed missing footsteps for certain civilian. Fixed hedges vanishing when hit by a flashbang. I've never had any of those things happen, I don't think. And on Ides of March, they fixed the combat music taking too long to come in. On Elephant, they fixed some collision issues. On the Spider, they fixed missing briefing audio file name. On Dorms, they fixed evidence being able to clip through certain debris piles. That's nice. That's super nice. There's a lot of debris on Dorms. On Sins of the Father, prevented traps spawning on doors with extra thick door frames. Hide and seek, fixed instances of enemies using wrong footstep events. And on Narcos, fixed missing briefing audio description. Okay, and then on Lethal Obsession, fixed evidence falling through the floor on certain parts of the level. That's nice. Fixed Gerard being able to exit surrender when left unattended. Oh, okay. Carriers of the Vine. They fixed some collision issues on there. On Relapse, they fixed specific windows still preventing grenades from passing through even after breaking the glass. On Buy Cheap, Buy Twice, they fixed the floating car signs after the window is destroyed. Nice. On Ends of the Earth, they just updated the water VFX. On Leviathan, fixed certain dialogue not triggering for NPCs and fixed missing briefing audio description. And then miscellaneous fixes. So this is across all maps. Fixed dropped weapon physics causing them to fall through the floor. Nice. Fixed missing friendly fire penalty when shooting the helicopter. I didn't. Interesting. Okay. That's cool. Fixed peeking both doors on double doors with the single door already peeking, closing the peaked door, and peeking the closed door. Peeking both will now only open the closed if one if both doors are not in the same state. That's a lot of doors. That's a lot of peeking. I'm gonna make sense of that sentence later. Fixed clients sometimes crashing when returning to the main menu from a multiplayer lobby. Fixed wedge-related performance issues. Interesting. Fixed wedges not being or blah. Fixed wedges not moving with the door when breached. Okay. Fixed rigging issues of older characters. Fixed in GMPG overlay stretching on ultra wide screens. Okay. I have an ultra wide, so yeah. That is nice. Fixed XE crosshair partially vanishing when crouching. Okay. Fixed blood being too shiny at all times. Fixed attachment activation for clients in multiplayer. Okay. Fixed scuff blending into out of stun animations. Fixed taser hit registration issues for clients in multiplayer. Fixed being unable to bash with a shield while using a 509 pistol. Okay. Fixed crash related to aim assist on gamepad. Fixed being unable to use the breaching shotgun on a chain link fence doors. Fixed client pistol sometimes disappearing after arrest canceling in multiplayer. Fixed laser flashlight misalignment while in the low-high ready. Okay, interesting. Fixed being unable to join multiplayer lobbies during the ready countdown. Fixed players spawning inside of each of the 5 other player lobbies. Fixed laser attachments while not looking at low-high FOVs. Fixed explosive vests of incapacitating civilians not detonating. Fixed toggle ADS preventing players from performing ADS with gamepad. Fixed rare SWAT AI evidence collection crash. Okay. So the base game update changes. They added a new difficulty system. AI difficulty now scales with casual, standard, or hard settings, which can be selected before each mission or commander mode. Cool. Added suspect squad behavior system to most levels when appropriate. These dynamic behaviors include rally, support, attack, and retreat. Interesting. Only on standard and hard difficulties. On standard hard difficulties, some experienced suspects with switch between semi-auto fire and full auto depending on distance. That's cool. Adding suspect weapon cache system to the most levels where appropriate. Okay, cool. So there's that's the weapon cache. So they added a whole another game system for the weapon caches. Okay. Sorry, by the way, if I sound weird. I'm really sick. I got a lot of mucus in my throat. SWAT AI have slightly different effectiveness based on difficulty mode. On casual difficulty, they give players more of an opportunity to engage suspects. Meanwhile, on hard mode, SWAT AI becomes slightly more combat effective than standard mode. Okay, good. Cool. Engineering. So Radio Now is now okay. Cool. We got that. Improved aim assist for gamepads. Nice. So players now have the option to enable crossplay. Cool. That's nice. And added ability to set weapon field of view independently from the world scene of view. Okay. That's nice. So general performance, improved GPU and CPU performance across all levels. Nice. Okay, that's always a good thing. Improved sound manager performance, further optimized various customization assets. Game file sizes have been compressed and optimized, reducing disk install size. Nice. Cool. Alrighty, now for the visuals. So there are new SWAT locomotion animations, improved ragdoll effects, improved animation related performance, added many new SWAT restraining animations, new first person animations for restraints, kicking doors, and chem-light deployment. Animation for Civilian Girl and Twisted Nerve has changed to sleeping animation. All right, cool. And those are all things that I think they told us about beforehand. For character art, they added clothing to a character in Lethal Obsession, Narcos, and some characters in Mission Hide and Seek. Okay, figured. Yeah. Dismemberment no longer occurs on already deceased characters, and additional character model optimization refinements. So the dismemberment thing is only on already dead characters, which is what it is. Base game update changes. Optimized many visual effects through new particle system. Interesting. So they have a whole new particle system called Niagara. Interesting. Added immersive raindrop VFX that affect first person view in outdoor areas on all levels that have rain. Nice. Okay. Improved fog VFX on Carriers of the Vine. There was fog on Carriers of the Vine. I'm trying to think. I don't remember any fog. I really don't remember any fog. Maybe in the greenhouse area? I don't know. I don't remember any fog, but okay, cool, baby. Hopefully I'll see it then. Audio. Base game update changes. VoIP has been improved to increase immersion, allowing voice chat echo and reverb based on surroundings. 5.1 mix option added. Updated Foley sounds for certain weapons and improved SWAT movement Foley. Okay, cool. Improvements to indoor and outdoor reflection probes, enhancing audio recreation accuracy. Various sound and quantum sound major optimizations. And they updated assorted weapons on and grenades audio. Cool. Alrighty, so the thing that's making me sweat, the weapons. Alrighty. So they have added an M32A1 rotary grenade launcher with CS gas and flash variants. They have a MKV 50 AE pistol. TRPL less lethal pepperball pistol. Cool. So there's an actual like pistol. I'm gonna guess that's pepperball now. And then they have a 590, which is Mossberg's version of the 870, basically. Which is, I mean, it's cool. More options for the pump, so that's cool. User interface and experience. Base game update changes. Players can now access their personal stats dashboard where skill, completion, and weapon mastery are stored into your personal mission metrics. Okay, that's pretty cool. You can actually like see your stats now. That's nice. Can people select from friends list to compare their stats? Okay. Cool. So basically, this just means you can compare with your friends. Gamepad focused equipment and command wheels have visual rework aimed at improving ease of use and readability. Nice. Gamepad players can opt out of the use of the traditional command list menu instead of the radio list menu, and there are now additional button layout and customizations options for gamepads. Okay, so they've added more controller options in preparation for console, I'm gonna guess. Enable evidence outline setting by default. Nice. That was always so frustrating having to explain to every one of my friends, hey, please turn on the little thing that's highlights all the evidence, because you're not gonna get it all unless you have that on. You're just not most of the time. You sure? I mean, you can, but it's insane with all the clipping and stuff, or it used to be at least. A new difficulty system integrates throughout the player experience and provides players with different degrees of challenge across the game. This can be changed quickly or in quick play, multiplayer, and commander mode. Okay, cool. So the new difficulty mode permeates all of them. I'm gonna guess. I wonder if Iron Man mode is what if you can select like do like a hard Iron Man run. We'll have to see. Added new achievements on and integrated them. Some can only be attained when playing on certain difficulty modes. Nice. The amount and types of traps vary based on the difficulty mode the player selects. On hard mode, the more maps have traps. Okay, and more likely to be lethal traps. Okay, cool. So they added 2 missions. Stolen Valor. An officer gone missing is reported to be located at an apartment building in the Rollers territory. I don't know what I'm gonna guess just based on context clues. Rollers is a gang. Hunger Striked, a gang meetup gone wrong at Chico's, a local Los Santos fast food franchise. Okay, interesting. Alrighty, and then for the last thing, known issues, things that they know that are in the game, but they're currently working on. A game sometimes crashes when restarting or returning to station mid-mission quick play. Cool. Audio devices may default to a muted state when joining a game on PC. If there's a workaround for this, reselect your audio device in the audio settings menu or within your Windows settings. Alternatively, try disabling unused audio inputs. Okay. In rare instances, VoIP may loop until the current session is restarted. Oh, that must be annoying. In rare instances, unplugged and replugged a microphone may cause issues with VoIP. Okay. Certain SFX does not occlude correctly. Certain UI buttons don't fire any audio. Certain weapon folly may produce doubled audio when playing as a client. Bullet casing SFX may rapidly fire at low frame rates. Certain destructible audio may not always play. Certain minor issues with Turkish language text in the command wheel SWAT cam / loadout renaming. If player does not select the Iron Man mode settings toggle while the difficulty selection screen, the Iron Man mode settings may not save. Okay. So if the player does not select Iron Man mode setting toggle while on the... Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm stuck on this because, like, you have to click on it for it to be Iron Man mode. Am I wrong? I don't know. There must be an issue there that I just don't understand. Obtaining exactly a C on gas does not contribute to the achievement The War. Players on single player quick play may potentially crash if they restart a mission before completing it. A fix on the way. The issue does not affect commander mode in multiplayer. Okay. Some minor text on the controller layout options are not translated to all languages. In casual difficulty, shotguns can be sometimes causing friendly fire. Okay. On PC, the cancel button when quitting a mission or from the station, the cancel button is not translated into all languages. Okay. And some mission objectives are not translated into all languages. Okay, so that bottom little area, a lot of language issues. Okay. Cool. But yeah, so that's the patch notes for this newest update, and there is also a little hot fix that came out a day later. So they fixed legacy save file scores not appearing on the mission selection screen. Absolutely no data has been lost unless a player completely deleted their save manually. Okay, cool. Fix crash when restarting or returning to the station while mid-mission in quick play. And they increase the server capacity with EGS to prevent authentication issues while connecting to the EGS account. I don't know what any of that means, but yeah, they did that as well a day later. But yeah, that's the update. I'll probably come out with a video experiencing the new update. I'm probably gonna do like a hard playthrough. That sounds fun to me. Maybe a hard Iron Man playthrough of some kind. Because I've been waiting for something like this for a long time. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of people that like Ready or Not, and that there's been a lot of content droughts for Ready or Not, we'll say, but they haven't necessarily promised a lot of content. So this is a nice little treat. Frankly, I thought we were gonna get this on the 25th, not the 15th, but apparently I can't read. Um, but yeah, cool. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this informed you, and have a great rest of your day.